Hello friends, I am from Helping Hand MBBS and today we are going to study about the cross sections of pons. We have already uploaded the video of cross section of medulla which you can see on our channel. So today we are going to discuss the cross section of pons. So in this video what we are going to study is that we will study first cross sections. The cross sections will be of upper pons and the lower pons, and we will study the important components in these cross sections so that we can learn their functions and we can correlate the clinical anatomy. So this will be our motive of this video. So let us start with little orientation of pons. So this is the gross section of brainstem, where you can see the medulla part, the pons part and the midbrain part. So these are three part of brainstem. Today we are going to study about the pons. This is this middle one. So pons is situated between midbrain above and the medulla below. So this is our pons. What we should appreciate in this diagram is that there is trigeminal nerve, sensory and motor roots, which you can see here, which are arising from the pons, and to be very clear, it is arising from upper pons. In lower pons you can see here that at the pontomedullary junction there is vestibulocochlear nerve. Vestibulocochlear nerve arises at pontomedullary junction. This you should appreciate. And one more thing that we should see is that this nerve arising in pontomedullary junction is abducent nerve, and this is facial nerve just lateral to it. This is our vestibulocochlear, this is our facial, and this is abducent, and this is trigeminal. These four structures are main structures we should remember while studying the pons. So we can appreciate these four structures here very easily. So let us see the lateral section. So as I told you that this is midbrain, this is pons, this is medulla, and this is our pons part. Behind the pons there is, you can see here, the fourth ventricle. The video on fourth ventricle is also uploaded on our channel. You can see it also. And behind the fourth ventricle, this is the cerebellum part. So this is lateral view of pons. Let us see the posterior view. This is posterior view. As we have seen in previous photo that the cerebellum is located posteriorly, so we can see the posterior part of pons only if we remove the cerebellum part. So this is just like strapped away and we can see the posterior part of pons. So this is basically the floor of fourth ventricle. When you will see the video of fourth ventricle, you can easily correlate the structures present in this figure. So this is the general orientation of pons. Now we will start with our cross section. So this is the cross section of lower pons. We will start with lower pons. What you should appreciate here is that there is a facial colliculus present at the posterior part of pons, at the posterior part of lower pons. You can see that the facial colliculus is formed by our motor fiber of this facial nerve. This is our facial nerve nucleus. This is abducent nerve nucleus. We will study. There are many structures present in this. I will tell you only the relevant structure which are necessary to learn. Like these two are the cochlear nucleus. These are cochlear nucleus. This is spinal nucleus of trigeminal nerve. We saw that the trigeminal nerve arises from the pons in the first diagram I showed you. So this is trigeminal nucleus, spinal nucleus of trigeminal. Its function is to carry sensory supply from face and ipsilateral. So this is the function of trigeminal, spinal nucleus of trigeminal. This is cochlear nucleus associated with hearing, as we all know. It is very easy. So now we will study that what is this structure. This structure is our vestibular nucleus. Vestibular nucleus is also the part of vestibulocochlear nerve, and it is associated with the balancing of body and head. So this is the function of vestibular nucleus. What these red things you can see here is corticospinal tract. Which carry motor supply to the muscles of bone. Motor supply function is motor supply to the muscle of body, whole body. And these will decussate at lower medulla. As we have uploaded the video, you can see there that these decussate at lower medulla. That is, this crossover at medulla. So these are our corticospinal tract, and this is our facial nucleus, blue one, and the red one is our abducent nucleus. This is our facial colliculus, formed by the motor fiber of facial nucleus. The thing you can see here is cerebellar peduncle. As I have told you that cerebellum is behind the pons and it is connected by some cerebellar peduncles to the pons. So this is inferior cerebellar peduncle. Inferior cerebellar peduncle has some tracts going to cerebellum, which will help in balancing of body. It also help in balancing of body along with vestibular nucleus. And the structure you can see here is this green one is medial lemniscus. This is medial lemniscus. Function is, it arises from nucleus cuneatus and nucleus gracilis, and its function is proprioception. It carry proprioception, vibration, etc. That is, it is continuation of dorsal column which ends on nucleus cuneatus and nucleus gracilis at medulla, and the fibers further arise in medial lemniscus. What is this? This is our spinal lemniscus. Spinal lemniscus carries our spinothalamic tract, which carry pain and temperature. So these are the important structures we should know at the level of pons, at the level of lower pons specifically. And the one more main thing is that the structure you can see here is trapezoid body. So what is this trapezoid body? Trapezoid body is nothing, it just carry the decussating fibers of cochlear nucleus. As I have showed you that these are cochlear nucleus. The cochlear nucleus fibers decussate and cross over to the opposite side through this trapezoid body. So this is the trapezoid body. These are the main structures at lower pons. Let us see the upper pons now. In the upper pons, some structures are same, like you can see the trapezoid body, you can see the medial lemniscus, the spinal lemniscus. So these structures are same. What we have to see here is that the spinal nucleus of trigeminal nerve and the motor nucleus of trigeminal nerve, these two arises here. So this is the very main part of the upper pons, that trigeminal nerve, sensory nucleus and motor nucleus is present here. These are corticospinal tract, as I have told you in previous photo, and this is middle cerebellar peduncle and this is superior cerebellar peduncle. And these are the important things you should know in upper pons. So mainly focus on trigeminal nerve. So trigeminal nerve mainly arises from upper part of pons. So as we have seen the major components, let us go to the clinical anatomy of this pons. So the clinical anatomy is divided into two main syndromes, that is Millard-Gubler syndrome, this is Gubler syndrome, and the pontocerebral angle syndrome. So these two syndromes are, as you can see in this figure, that this part, if this part is affected, it is known as Millar-Gubler syndrome. And if this part is, as you can see, this is at the pontocerebellar junction, so this is pontocerebellar angle syndrome. What I want you to appreciate here is the structure involved in this yellow part. The yellow part is affected. So you can see clearly that in previous diagram I showed that there is corticospinal tract present here, and you can see this was the our abducent nucleus. So this will be our abducent nerve. So this is crossing from this yellow part, so it is also affected. Abducent nerve is also affected. So two structures which are affected we have seen till now are corticospinal tract and the abducent nerve. One more structure, you can see that the facial nerve part is also affected here. This is a facial nerve which cross over and comes like this. This is facial nerve. Facial nerve is also affected. It will be very easy for us when we see this diagram and correlate the clinical anatomy. So you can see the corticospinal tract, abducent nerve and the facial nerve, which are the main structure present here and are affected. So let us see now the pontocerebellar angle syndrome structures involved in this syndrome. So you can see here that our facial nerve is again affected. You can see that this is our vestibule, this is our spinal nucleus, as I have told you, spinal nucleus of trigeminal. This is also affected. So these two structures you can see that are affected here. So let us see properly what will be the clinical features in this syndrome. So in Millar-Gubler syndrome, as we have seen that abducent nerve will be affected. What is the function of abducent nerve, friends? Abducent nerve is a sixth cranial nerve, and you may be remembering the mnemonic that LR6, that is lateral rectus, is supplied by cranial nerve 6. So its function is to control the lateral rectus and the lateral movement of the eyeball. If it is damaged, then the eye will be deviated toward the medial side, so it will cause the medial squint. So first feature of Millard-Gubler syndrome is medial squint. Now we will see another part, that is corticospinal tract. Corticospinal tracts are affected, and what was the function of corticospinal tract? We have studied that it carries the motor fiber to the muscles. So there will be, and you see that this is pons, this is medulla, as we have studied that above is pons and below is medulla. So corticospinal tract comes like this and cross in medulla and now go downward and supply the various muscles. So if we have our lesion here, so you can see the contralateral part will be affected. If this part is affected, then this part of body will be gone. So this is contralateral hemiplegia, that is paralysis of opposite side of muscle. This is contralateral hemiplegia will occur. Now we will see the facial nerve, as facial nerve was also affected, and we know the facial nerve motor fibers arise from the lower pons. So there will be paralysis of facial muscles. So the three things are medial squint, contralateral hemiplegia and paralysis of facial muscle. Now we will see the second part, pontocerebellar angle syndrome. The first structure we saw that was affected was facial nerve. Again facial nerve will cause facial muscle paralysis. Then vestibular nucleus. As we know, vestibular nucleus is associated with our balance, so damage to it will cause vertigo, that is, it is like dizziness like symptoms, and the tinnitus, that is ringing like symptoms, there will be like ringing sound in the ear. Another structure affected was cerebellar peduncle. As we know, the cerebellum is also associated with the balance of body. It will cause ipsilateral ataxia. Ataxia is loss of balance, that is loss of balance. It will cause same side loss of balance, ipsilateral ataxia. In last the spinal nucleus of trigeminal was also there, as I have shown you. It will cause loss of pain and temperature of face, accelerated loss of pain and temperature, because it will carry the sensations from face. Which sensation? Pain and temperature sensation. So this is all about what we have to learn in the pons. We have studied the upper cross section, lower cross section, and the associated clinical symptoms. So thank you friends for watching this video. Please subscribe the channel if you like this video, and thank you. All the best for your exams.